Alright, welcome back to Souflotv again, everybody. It is your host with the most. Shout out to those tuning in once again. If you've never been here before, just go ahead and click that subscribe button, please, and help us to get to our goal of 400,000 for this 2024. You won't be seeing my face again in this video. The background that you will be seeing is a place in Jamaica called Christiana, and Christiana is borderline Manchester and Clarendon, and I am from this area. Alright, so you'll be seeing my hometown stomping grounds kind of thing in the background while I tell you a story out of Jamaica about a young man named Andre Nelson who received a life sentence for a murder charge in 2014. Well, he fought the murder charge, took it to court and fought it, and due to XYZ, which you will hear in the video why, guess what happened? Not only Vybz Kartel beat him life sentence, Andre Nelson just beat his life sentence too this year, not too long ago in Jamaica. So enjoy the video. This is just the intro, and that's that. Alright, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, please, and thank you very much. I'm out. Christiana.
One thing, everything up.
Then they put on KFC at Christiana. Me bumba clot. This is epic. Remember me tell you, say, we never see a KFC yet. Run your so.
Then they add KFC and something else at the back. Probably one Burger King. You need to figure ATM there.
One ATM down hill, that's all. You have to pay for tenants only. No parking there, so you have to pay a parking and walk down there. Come on, go and watch your road too.
I want to come, Daddy.
You want to come, Melanie?
I don't have no shoes on.
Melanie, you don't have no shoes on. I mean, I try to get up out of here. Welcome back to Souflotv again, everybody. It is your host with the most. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and let's get right into this. I was about to say let's get right into traffic, like I'm driving. Anyhow, this story is about an individual who just got his life sentence overturned in Jamaica by the courts. Kind of like looking back now that Vybz Kartel is free at the whole Vybz Kartel situation, where a lot of people were expecting him to still be in prison at this point. But he was freed also. So, the Court of Appeal in Jamaica has freed Andre Nelson, who was convicted in June of 2014 of murder, declaring that some of the comments from the trial judge actually provoked a substantial miscarriage of justice. Nelson was sentenced on July 14th of 2014 to life in prison at hard labor, and he was ordered to serve at least 20 years imprisonment before he could be possibly eligible for parole for the murder that was committed in Bull Bay, St. Andrew. Now, I must explain to you again, when you get one of these sentences and it says you must serve 20 before you are eligible for parole, it does not mean you will get parole. There are people who have had the same type of sentence and they've been in prison for 50 years. 20 is when they will start to assess you to see if you have rehabilitated enough to return to society. But they can also decide you're not rehabilitated enough. As a matter of fact, it looked like you've gotten worse, so we'll see you at the parole board in another 5 years. We'll see you at the parole board in another 5 years and 5 years and 5 years. And before you know it, you're in there for 50 years before you even get eligible for parole. Now, witnesses had testified that Nelson and other men in a group approached the victim, and Nelson shot the victim in his chest, right there in front of everybody. When Nelson was apprehended by the police, he gave his name as Mario Bennett, but he later admitted to the police that he was Andre Nelson, otherwise called Ants. Ants, like the ants, mud ants, red ants, ants. He also denied committing the murder. He said, "It wasn't me. I don't have the wrong person." Nelson applied for leave to appeal his conviction and sentence, but the transcript of the proceedings was not received by the Court of Appeal until August 21st of 2020. That is appealing from 2014. And the Courts of Appeals claims they did not get his paperwork until 2020. On August 15th of 2020, an appellate judge granted him leave to appeal and indicated that although the presiding judge, Bertram Morrison, gave adequate directions in most instances to the jury, the judge also made some comments that were quote unquote unfortunate. You have to understand that a judge can easily sway a case. The judge can easily say something that pretty much tells the jury, you better come back with a guilty verdict. Now, attorney at law Emily Shields represented Nelson at the appeal hearing between January and February of 2024. Shields submitted that upon an examination of the transcript of the trial, the prosecution was clearly relying on lies that were told by Nelson during the police interview regarding his correct name to buttress other evidence of his guilt for the offense of murder. In other words, what the prosecution was doing, Nelson did tell a lie when he first got caught. He gave them the wrong name. Then later on he said, okay, that's not me. My right name is so-and-so, right? But the prosecution was using it in court to argue that if him lie about him name, he lie about everything else. You understand? So, of course he's going to lie and say he wasn't the one that committed the killing. Just like how he lied and said that's not his name. And his attorney brought that up. Instead of relying on facts, DNA evidence, eyewitness account, etc., they were just really using the one lie he told and keep remixing it to say that if he lied about his name, he's lying about this too. She highlighted that the judge even told the jury that Nelson's motive for his lie must have been a realization of guilt and fear of the truth. See, a judge can't say that. A judge cannot say that to a jury. She highlighted, this is his attorney who represented him at his appeal, highlighted that the judge told the jury that Nelson's motive for his lie, when he told them when he was first arrested that his name was something else, that must have been a realization of guilt. Guilt for murder. Honestly, there are a lot of people who get held by the police and for one reason or another give the police a different name and try to wiggle out of it real quick. Wants no contact with the police. But him, on the other hand, they were convinced they had the right person for the murder. She also argued that the judge did not put to the jury Nelson's reason for the lie, and at points appeared to pour scorn on his statement, as if already convicting him. The learned judge used a forbidden reasoning which cuts to the core of the integrity of the conviction, rendering it unsafe as having come from a substantial miscarriage of justice, Shields argued, and Shields was right. Now, the prosecution, represented by Crown Counsel Malik Kellier and Dwayne Green, they submitted that the judge gave detailed and adequate direction to the jury on how they should treat the lies. They said that it was after that the judge commented on the issue of whether Nelson had lied to the police or not. The Court of Appeals then said that the judge's comment to the jury were very problematic. Importantly, the learned trial judge in the case at bar commented that the proven lies must have been a realization of guilt. The lie would have been a very important factor in the jury's assessment of the evidence, as the only evidence against the appellant rested on the identification evidence of the eyewitness. The lie touched and concerned the appellant's identity. The effects of the comments of the learned trial judge is that they took away from the jury an important assessment of the fact that would form part of their ultimate determination as to whether the appellant was guilty or not guilty. Basically, the judge shouldn't have said what the judge said, because now the jury is thinking, well, the judge say him guilty, It sound like an admittance of guilt, so may I go with what the judge said. Remember, the judge is a very persuasive, powerful person inside of that courtroom during trial. Judge should have never said that. This was a substantial miscarriage of justice. The court, comprising Justice Jennifer Straw, Nicole Foster Pusey, and Vivian Harris, said that while they agreed with the position of the Crown that the evidence of identification was very strong, because they have an eyewitness, right? And the eyewitness says that's him that did it. Nelson was deprived of a fair trial due to the nature and the impact of the comments that were made by the judge concerning that lie. The judges said that it would be inappropriate to uphold the conviction after such a serious error. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this and watch how easy this youth get to bust off this murder case, even with an eyewitness that saw him shoot, and then the eyewitness come and testify in court. That's him. I saw him do it right in front of me and everybody else. One person was brave enough to come testify, and him still beat the case based on what a judge said to the jury. Now, go back and look at the Vybz Kartel case and see how much fight Vybz Kartel got all the way up until the last minute to his freedom. This is looking back in hindsight, right? But this is what we've said over all those years that Kartel was incarcerated, that there are many in Jamaica who commit murder, they're out on bail, Kartel can't get bail. There are many in Jamaica who beat their murder case even with people seeing them commit the murder. Vybz Kartel they have no evidence in his murder. Everything is circumstantial, etc., etc. And yet still, the state was fighting so hard to keep him where he was at. The judges said that it would be inappropriate to uphold this conviction after the judge in this case said what he said to the jury. He lied about his name, so basically it looked like him could be lying. That looked like an admittance of guilt. Now, on the issue of a retrial, the court ruled that the Crown had indicated that a retrial would not be appropriate because on reviewing its file, the statement of the two eyewitnesses cannot be found. Lucky, my boy, I get lucky. The two eyewitnesses, so there were two, not one. And the statements of the two eyewitnesses who saw him do it and testified, those are missing from the file. and them can't find the eyewitness them, and they can't find their statements, so they cannot do a retrial. The depositions taken at the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court and sent to the criminal registry at the Home Circuit Court cannot be found. The deposition that was taken at the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court and that was sent to the criminal registry at the Home Circuit Court cannot be found. It was also noted that the lawyer who represented Nelson at his trial cannot locate the statements that were disclosed to him either. The court said that the Crown had taken the position that having been left with only the transcript of the trial, that would not be enough to safeguard Nelson's right to a fair trial. In all the circumstances, since there can be no retrial and there has been a substantial miscarriage of justice, the conviction must be quashed. That means the individual gets to go free, and go free with a clean record as well. Kind of like in the Vybz Kartel case. Now, he served from July of 2014 to 2024 before his case was overturned. But based on a judge's error, his case was overturned for what the judge said to the jury, and they will not retry him because they cannot find the witnesses or the statements that the witnesses gave. And the judge, the lawyer who represented him at first trial cannot find any statements that were given to him in their original form either. Y'all leave your comments in the comment section below. All I'm going to say to this man is, brother, you're lucky. Andre Nelson, if I was you, I would have walked the straightest, narrowest straight and narrow there is. Don't let nobody lead you back down the wrong road, and don't let your head get big and start thinking, oh, my bust off murder case, so I know if I do this already. It was God that smiled upon you, my friend. Because I know how inside of them prison they stay. It was God that smiled upon you. And anyhow, you step foot back in that direction. If I was you, I would avoid trouble at all costs. Me not arguing with nobody. Me a run. Me not care when nobody want to call me. Run away from trouble. Because the next time you end up in there, they are surely going to say, oh, it's him again. Him get to the last time, but you're not getting away this time. So they have your number. Don't make them have to pull it. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. And I'll catch you on the next video. It's Souflotv. I'm out. Peace. Alright, my Jamaican people, let's take a break from our scheduled program here and get into this promo of a wonderful product from a company called Soninka Limited. Soninka Limited Solar Lighting. They have interior lighting available, roof solar panels available, extra bright street lights like you're seeing in this video clip available. You can use these lights to light up your streets and avenues, lanes and corners, your backyard, your farm, your front yard, any which part need lighting. And this is all powered by God's Son. Solar, no man, solar. You don't have a JPS bill to pay. And they are available island-wide. So check it. Intelligent lighting control, dimmable remote controlled, rechargeable on cloudy days. Listen, hook up, link up with Soninka right now. Oh, and tell them Souflotv sent you and get a nice discount. And get yourself out of the darkness and into the light. Back to our regular scheduled program at hand. Peace. Alright, thank you for watching. Enough respect to those who watch the videos all the way to the end. Did you hit the subscribe button? Did you? Subscribe. Alright. Catch you on the next video. By the way, when we do our $100 giveaways on the channel, it's usually from these kinds of videos that I take the trick question, and whoever can answer the trick question gets the $100. We just do them randomly just to show appreciation. But you cannot get the $100 unless you are a member of the channel. So click the button that says membership or join and get your membership to the channel as well. It's like a lotto ticket. If you don't have a lotto ticket, you don't stand a chance of winning the lottery. But if you have one ticket, then you have one chance. Not true? Alright. I'll catch you on the next video, alright? Big up on yourself, manners, and respect to each and every one of you. I'm out. Peace.